Attention swimmers, if you are with the Manta Swim Club, your last name is West, we have your jacket at the announcer table. We have a jacket for the swimmer, his last name West, swimming for the Manta Swim Club. We have your jacket at the announcer table. Bon matin et bienvenue à cette 5e journée de compétition des essais canadiens de natation Bell 2025 ici au centre Commonwealth Saanich en Victoria. De belles courses encore une fois hier soir, un autre record canadien pour Summer McIntosh aux 200 papillons. Nous avons aussi 3 records para-canadiens à souligner, soit Sébastien Massabi aux 50 libres pour la classification S5. Wilson Smith aux 100 mètres papillon et Nicolas Bennett a baissé son record canadien aux 100 mètres papillon pour la paranatation. L'ordre des épreuves aujourd'hui, le 404 nages individuels sera suivi du 153 nages individuels et de 204 nages individuels pour la paranatation. Nous allons terminer la session d'aujourd'hui avec le 200 mètres d'eau. À vous rappeler que les séries masculines précéderont les séries féminines pour le 200 d'eau. Bonne chance, on débute avec le 404 nage, l'épreuve 25, 8 séries dans cette épreuve, la prochaine série, la série 1. Bonne chance à tous, nageurs et nageuses.
Good morning, welcome to all athletes, coaches, and spectators. Welcome back to Saanich Commonwealth Place for session number 9, our 5th morning of prelims here at the 2025 Bell Canadian Swimming Trials. We had a couple awards, a couple new records in our night of finals yesterday. We had 3 new Canadian para records and a new Canadian senior records. In the para events, new Canadian para records in the men's 50 freestyle, both in prelims and again in finals. In the S5 sport class by Pacific Seawolves' Sebastian Massabi. A new Canadian para record in the S14 100 fly by Red Deer Catalina Swim Club's Nick Bennett. And in the women's 100 fly in the S13 sport class by Orangeville Otters' Alyssa Smythe. We also had a Canadian senior record at 2:02.26 swum in the women's 100 fly by Summer McIntosh. Coming into this morning's session, we start off with the women's and men's 400-meter individual medley. We then move into the para-women's and men's 150 and 200-meter individual medley events. And then we swim into the 200-meter backstroke as the end of our session. Don't forget to stick around for our time trial events later today. We're going to be getting underway shortly with the women's 400-meter individual medley, our first of 8 swims in the event. Our time trial today will be the women's and men's 200-meter backstroke and 200-meter individual medley. At this time, we now direct your attention to the start end of the pool and to get you warmed up for our first set of swims of the morning. For day 5 prelims, we are again moving into heat 1 of 8 for the women's 400-meter individual medley. Good luck to all athletes in this morning's session. Day 5 prelims at the 2025 Bell Canadian Swimming Trials. move through the first of our turns in Heat 1 of the women's 400-meter individual medley. Leading time is up front in lane 5 for Winskill Dolphins' Abigail McLeod. Turns first by a 5 length out of the fly at 109.56, followed second by Point Claire Swim Club's Micah Marigold. Meter turn coming up. Leading time now is Marigold for Point Claire. Turns at 2:28.66 in 3, followed a 2:31.5, 30.15 for Abigail McLeod in 5. Centered between the two, Miles Sanborn for Pacific Coast Swimming at a 2:34.79 out of the backstroke. Big comeback here from Miles Sanborn, a gold medalist in the 200 breaststroke, silver in the 100 at Canadian Swimming Championships last summer. 40.94 is the fastest of our 3 outbound 50 breasts. Over 3 seconds faster than either of the two. Miles Sanborn now on par with Marigold into the end of the breaststroke. Takes the lead at the 300 at 3:58.39. Drops Marigold to second and McLeod to third. A reverse of 100 meters prior, a 34.02 is 2 seconds and 6/10 faster at the very least, faster than any of our other 2 outbound 50s here. Marigold dropped from first, still into the final 50 at 4:35.14, but it will be McLeod for the first place finish in Heat 1 of the women's 4IM at a 5:09.14.
C'est Abigail McLeod qui remporte la première série avec un temps de 5:09.14. Série 2.
Heat 2, up next. distinct leading two, by length and a half up front, Zoe Ratty and Ellie Cross. 107.04, the leading time in 3 for Cross. A tenth behind that is Ratty at 107.13. Then down to 7 for third, currently Danica Douglas, representing Edmondson Keano Swim Club. First place turn at the 200, halfway turn now, a 2:26.99 for Cross. Ratty at 2:27.35. Up to third now as of the 150 meter turn. Anna Rideouts at 2:27.57. Switching with Cross, Ratty up to first now, the 300, 3:57.55. Cross drops to third, behind now Douglas, back up into the top 3 and 7 at a 3:59.21. A second 0.7 behind Ratty into the final 100 of free. Final 5 meters in heat 2 of the women's 4IM. Top time is going to be by a bite length, lane 7, Danica Douglas for Edmondson Keano at 5:05 spot 6:55.
5:06.55 pour Danica Douglas qui remporte la deuxième série, série 3.
Moving on now to heat 3 of 8, women's 400 meter individual medley, heat 3.
Keep it moving, yes, Lord. Trying to get some new shit in there, swimwear, going to the pool shit. Come now, come dry your eyes. You know you a star, you can touch the sky.
quarter mark turn, leading time in Heat 3 is lane 6, Jaden Dagsan representing Point Claire, followed seconds in lane 3, Tsimang Tung representing Canadian Dolphins. .150 meters in, second point 3 between Jordan Jaden Dagsan in 6 and Millie Tung for Canadian Dolphins in lane 3. And for third place, Tong Tu representing Markham Aquatic. Three quarters through, Shutong Tu from Markham Aquatic, 56.41, followed Dagsan 57.88, second point 3 back. Third in center pool, Jessica Dragici at a 3:58.41, representing Hoop Warriors. Final 5 meters, and for Markham Aquatic, Shutong Du will be the fastest finish at 5:03, 1:3 in Heat 3.
5 minutes, 3 secondes et 13 centièmes pour Shutong Du de Markham qui remporte la 3e série, série 4.
5:03.13 is the fastest time thus far, the women's 200-meter individual medley prelims session. We next move into Heat 4, behind the blocks. top seed in Heat 4, representing Crest Swimming, Ella Harrison at a 5:02.44. Second fastest seed in Heat Gators, Claire Christie in 5. Top time of the 100 so far is Katie Forrester in lane 2 for Mark McQuaddick, followed by Ruby Kaler. Kelowna Aquajets 105.77 is 7/10 behind Forrester for second. $2:21.33 for Forrester remains our leader at the halfway turn. Kaler for second at 22:49, just over a full second back from Forrester. Third place now is lane 3, Callie Cardiff representing Calgary Swimming. Further 2 seconds behind Kaler for third.
À mi-chemin dans cette quatrième série du 404 nage, c'est Katie Forster qui mène dans le passage de 2:21.33. Une seconde devant Ruby Keller et pas loin derrière, on retrouve Kelly Cardiff de Calgary dans le couloir 3.
Continuing current pace, we could be looking at a takeover here from Cardiff over Kaler's second place position. Separated by a second point 3, there's a second point 4 on the outbound 50. Top time at the 300 is still going to be Forrester, 3:51.26, followed Kaler, 53.26, and 54.21 by Cardiff. Final 50 meters and a great finish here from Ruby Kaler. 32.99 is a second and a half faster than the outbound for Forrester. Supersedes heading into the final 10 and will be the top time in Heat 4, 4:58.60.
4:58.60 pour Ruby Keller de Kelowna Aquajets qui remporte la quatrième série. Série 5.
59.80 is exactly 2/10 behind Kaler for Forrester's second place finish in 3 and 2, and third and 3 for Cardiff. Heat 5 up next. Head-to-head into the quarter mark turn. Lanes 5, 6, and 7 are 106.61 to 106.65. Lane 6, Amy Chai, representing Mark McWaddock. Université Laval, Corinne Vazina at a 106.65 for second and 7 by 4 100ths. And third at the moment, Kelowna Aquajets, Juliet Nicholson in lane 3.
When
50 meters through the backstroke. Switch to second, third. Vizina drops down from second to third. Up in between Chai and Vizina now is Abby Baller in lane 5, representing Mark McWaddock. 46.88 is 6/10 behind Chai's first place turn at the 150. Halfway now for Baller, first place in 5 at the end of the backstroke, 2:23.76.
Après le premier 200 mètres, Abby Baller qui mène cette 5e série du 450 nage de 23,76 devant Amy Chai. Corinne Vizina du Rouge et Or est en 3e.
Sat down, started kissing, caressing, told me about jacuzzi, sounded interesting. So we jumped right in. All calls diverted to answer phone. Please leave a message after the tone. I mean, me and her parents were kinda cool, but they ran a fine line between me and you. We were just doing things young people in love do. Parents trying to find out what we were up to. Saying, why were you creeping around late last night? Why did I see two shadows moving in your bedroom light? Now you're dressed in black when I left you.
Vizina skyrocketing through the breaststroke, a 41.80, fastest across the pool on the first 50 of the breaststroke leg. To second is 3:07.77 behind Baller for first at the 300, the 250. Baller remains our leader at the 300 at a 350.63, but that is a narrow lead of 2/10 over Vizina. Chai between the two at 51.88 is the second behind Vizina for third in 6.
Whenever the coast was clear, she'd ask me to come out. I'd say, hey girl, come on right around. So she knocked at the door. I was standing with the keys on my hand to the 4x4. Chicken my ride, chicken that nobody saw. The club we went in, we got down, bounced to the rhythm. So
Building her lead through the freestyle leg by 2 body lengths. Our top time in Heat 5 is going to be Abby Baller. It's 4:58.82.
4:58.82 pour Abby Baller de Red Deer Catalina qui remporte la 5e série, série 6.
6/10 between second, third. Vizina Chai, 7 and 6. Heat 6 up next.
what we were up to. Saying, why can't you keep your promises? No more saying you'll be home by 12 and strolling in at 4. Out with the
Third fastest seed time across the women's 400-meter individual medley. Our top seed in Heat 6 swims in lane 4, representing Markham Quad Club. Angela Wong was 10th at the 2024 trials event. Our current leader at the 100, the 105.56, is Maya Bazanson, representing Toronto in lane 2, followed by Barrie Trojan Swim Club's Tara Vroom in lane 1 at a 106.34, 8/10 behind Bazanson. A tie for third in 7 and 8 between Club Aquatique de Montréal Chola-Pourceau and Isabella Cooper Lakeshore in lane 8. Top 3 migrate over to lanes 1, 2, and 3. Bazanson followed by Vroom, and Huini Shu for Markham brings up third in lane 3. Halfway turn now. Bazanson at 2:20.55 is 2 seconds and 3/10 faster than Vroom in seconds. Further 4/10 back from Vroom's time is Shu at 23:22, third in 3 into the breaststroke.
Après le premier 200 mètres dans cette 6e série, Maya Bazanson de Toronto qui mène 2:20.55, 2 secondes devant Tara Vroom. La jeune nageuse de Markham, Annie Jou, est en 3e position présentement avec un temps de 2:23.22.
So over 5 meters of breaststroke to go for Maya Bazanson, our leader into the 300-meter changeover. 3:49.33 marks the start of the freestyle for our field. Second place jumps down to Brousseau in lane 7, Club Aquatique de Montréal at 3:52.04 for third. Vroom down a position in lane 1 at 52.25. 2/10 behind Brousseau. Final 5 meters, and with a 4:57.66 top time is lane 2, Maya Bazanson for Toronto.
Avec un temps de 4:57.66, Maya Bazanson de Toronto qui remporte la 6e série, série 7.
Time that would have placed 10th in trials last year. We move down to our penultimate swim for the event, Heat 7. Second fastest seed in the women's 400-meter individual medley, Club Aquatique de Montreal, Mary-Sophie Harvey, seated at a 4:35.73, a time that ranks 5th in the season this year, a time swum at the Giant Paris 2025. Holds the 4th fastest time in Canada, and the 4:35.73. Second fastest seed in the heat is Mabel Zabaros, a bronze medalist at 2024 trials with a 4:40.46 for seed time into this morning's prelims. Leading time at the end of the fly leg is Zabaros at a 1:02.57, followed second Ashley McMillan 1:03.05, and for third Harvey at a 1:03.65.
Après le premier 100 mètres, c'est Mabel Zavaros qui mène. Elle qui a mis 100 pavillons de Markham Aquatic Club. Elle est suivie d'Ashley McMillan. Marie-Sophie Harvey, le temps le plus rapide dans cette 7e série, se retrouve en 3e position. Harvey qui s'est déjà qualifié pour l'équipe qui fera partie des championnats mondiaux à Singapour avec 3 épreuves déjà, 200 brasses, 100 pavillons, 204 nages.
Leading time with 200 to go. Zabaros at 2:13.61. Sophie Harvey turning here now, 2:19.43.
C'est Mabel Zavaros qui augmente son avance du couloir 5. Maintenant, Marie-Sophie se retrouve en 2e, juste devant Ashley McMillan. Nous sommes à mi-chemin dans cette série du 404 nages.
Coming into 300-meter turn, our leading two now well separated from the field. Zabaros with still a narrow lead, but Harvey coming in to turn what will be first at the 300, a 3:36.83. 3:37.08 for Zabaros. The qualifying standard for Singapore in the women's 400-meter individual medley, a 4:43.08, 06 the A standard. Secondary standard is a 4:45.89. Both Sophie Harvey and Mary-Sophie Harvey and Mabel Zabaros seated under that at 4:35.73 and 4:40.46 respectively.
Et Marie-Sophie qui a pris les devants après la brasse et qui l'augmente maintenant en premier 50. Une seconde devant Mabel Zavaros, un temps de passage de 4:09.74.
Slightly faster on the outbound 50 than Zabaros, so Mary-Sophie Harvey at a 4:09.74 holds lead into the final 25. Now on the 5-meter approach, top time in Heat 7 is going to be Club Aquatique de Montreal, Mary-Sophie Harvey at a 4:41.02. Under the Aqua A standard in prelims, a great setup for finals tonight. A second behind that, Zabaros at 4:42.02.
4:41.02 pour Marie-Sophie Harvey qui remporte la 7e série. Une seconde exactement devant Mabel Zavaros qui termine en 2e.
Our final swim now in the women's 400-meter individual medleys. It's Heat 8. fourth fastest seed across the women's 400-meter individual medley. Swims in lane 5, our second fastest seed in the heat. Second place at Trials 2024 with a 4:38.88. Seeded in today at 4:37.35, a time that would rank 9th in the world this season. Our top overall seed, though, swims in lane 4. It holds both the world and Canadian, the timed world and Canadian record, a gold medalist at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games with a 4:27.71, seeded 4:24.38. This is Summer McIntosh in lane 4.
Dans cette 8e et dernière série, en couloir 4, on retrouve Summer McIntosh, la détentrice du record canadien, le record du monde en effet. Son temps de 4:24.38.
World record pace at the 100s, a 59.18. McIntosh here at a 1:02.00, starting off with an easier early swim in prelims. 1:03.18 for Jansen, second in lane 5. Current third is Alona Phillips representing Edmonton Piano in lane number 1. McIntosh holds the fastest time of 2025, a time swum at the Tier Pro Swim Series in Westmont, USA at 4:26.98. This is the fastest time in the world by this season by 7 full seconds. The next fastest time is the USA time for Emma Wayans, also swum at the Tier Pro Swim Series, though at the Fort Lauderdale event at 4:33.95. Coming into our 200-meter turn, McIntosh, a dominant lead by 2 body lengths over Jansen in lane 4, will turn at a 4:13.36. 2:13.36.
« 2:13.36 pour Summer McIntosh qui mène un peu plus de 3 secondes devant Ella Jensen de Tobago qui se retrouve en 2e position. Je rappelle que le meilleur temps jusqu'à présent, Marie-Sophie Harvey dans la série précédente, 4:41.02.
Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification event 25, heat 6, lane 7. That's again a disqualification, event 25, heat 6, lane 7. To our 300-meter turn, up front is McIntosh. Again, the world record stands at a 4:24.38. This was the time set at the 2024 Canadian Olympic Trials, heading into the Paris Olympic Games. Second fastest at Trials was Ella Jansen at a 4:38.88. Seated again at a 4:37.35 this season. Turned second with 100 to go. 3:38.68 behind McIntosh by a second, 2 seconds and 5/10.
Il y a un avis de disqualification pour l'épreuve 25, série 6, couloir 7. L'épreuve 25, série 6, couloir 7 a été disqualifiée.
Final 25-meter approach for both McIntosh and Jansen. Our top 2 finalists at the Olympic Trials in Canada, and McIntosh with the top overall time in Canada, 8th fastest in Canada. Jansen for second. McIntosh topping out today at 4:40.93 for prelims, fastest time of the morning.
4:40.93 pour Summer McIntosh qui se qualifie en première position pour la finale A de ce soir dans cette épreuve du 404 nage.
Second place for Jansen at 4:44.37 in 5. Third is Aaliyah Brenson, lane 8 for Edmonton Piano.
Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Summers, please clear the pool.
In In just a few moments, we'll have our summary up on the video board at the turn end of the pool for the women's 400-meter individual medley. Our top time of the morning, as mentioned, is a 4:40.93 for Summer McIntosh. Our AB and junior finalists pre-scratch for the women's 400 will be denoted by an AB and a J on the far side of the screen. R will denote our reserve finalists, McIntosh and Sophie Harvey, with the Mary Sophie Harvey with the top 2 times in the morning.
Nous affichons les résultats du 404 nage sur le tableau indicateur avec Summer McIntosh qualifiée en première position, suivi de Marie-Sophie Hervé en deuxième. Seulement 1/10 sépare les deux nageuses pour les finales de ce soir.
Moving on now to event 26, the men's 400-meter individual medley, heat 1 of 8. Turn in heat 1 of the men's 400-meter individual medley. Leading time, lane 4, Ridge Meadow Swim Club's Keenan Gander at 2:12.83. 2:15.82, 3 seconds back. Drew Edwards representing Pacific Coast Swimming. Javier Pimentel in the pool in 3rd and 5, representing Calgary Swimming. 100 meters to go. Gander leads tenuously over Pimentel up to second now. 36.93 is 2/10 behind Gander at 36.69. A further 1/100th behind Pimentel, Drew Edwards, though at a 41.02 out of the breaststroke final 50. Pimentel takes off through the freestyle. Second 0.3 faster than the outbound for Gander. 4:08.64 is now a second 0.1 faster than Gander into the final 50 of freestyle. Fastest time for heat 1, 4:39.17 for Javier Pimentel of Calgary Swimming.
4:39.17 pour Xavier Pimentel, Calgary, qui remporte la première série.
Heat 2 up next, Heat 2. Quarter mark turn in Heat 2 for the men's 400-meter individual medley is a 2:12.81. Yegor Semeniuk, Natasha Gatineau in lane 8 followed second, third. Julius Bartkovich in lane 4. Rikisu and Scarborough swim tops Declan Kay in lane 5. Declan Kay for Scarborough, 3:36.20 in 5 for first place into the final 100 freestyle. Jäger Semeniuk for second in 8 at a 36.58. 3/10 behind Kay. Third for Barkovich in 4. A tie for first place with 50 to go. Great comeback here for Semeniuk, tied up with Declan Kay at a 4:10.79. Barkovich is 2/10 behind that at a 4:10.97. Lean out 50, fastest of the three is though Barkovich at a 33.49. Great finishing 50 for this Kisu swimmer in lane 4. Final 5 meters, and it's going to be Barkovich for first in heat 2 at a 4:42.424 in 4.
4:42.24 pour Julius Barkovich de Kisu Swim qui remporte la deuxième série.
Heat 3. Top time for 100 is 1:01.73 for Max Wu in 7. Wu represents Pacific Sea Wolves. Second place, Noah DeChambeau in lane 5, representing Vancouver Pacific at 1:02.28. And for third, opposite side of the pool, is lane 1, Connor Brown, Club Warriors, 1:02.99, a 10th behind, 7/10 behind DeChambeau. Start of a comeback possibly here for our top seed in Heat 3, Marshall Smith, at a 1:39.87 currently, 4th place. Up from 7th, the 50-meter turn prior. Coming in towards the end of the backstroke, looks like it will be up to 3rd now. 2nd in fact. Top time is going to be Scott Watson, turns 2:13.97. Second place is DeChambeau at a 2:15.42, 4/10 ahead of Marshall Smith. Meters into the breaststroke though, Marshall Smith is a definite second place. Favoring the latter half of the race, Smith up to first place at the 250 from 7th, 100 meters prior, 2:53.86. Leads out over Scott Watson and DeChambeau, 54.39, 6:56.43 respectively. With 100 meters of freestyle to go, a bike length and a half for Marshall Smith at 3:32.98. Top seed for Smith is a 4:42.42. For seconds, Watson turns 35.86. Third place still for DeChambeau in lane 5. Two body lengths ahead of second into the final 25. Marshall Smith, Scott Watson, Noah DeChambeau into the final half length of the pool. Final time is a 4:35.94 for Smith. Sub-seed time of 4:42.42. And the fastest time so far in prelims for the men's 4IM.
4:35.94 pour Marshall Smith qui remporte la 3e série.
Heat 4 up next. .100 meters in to Heat 4, leading times of 1:01.36. Benjamin Miller in 6th, representing Barry Trojan. Second, his third fastest seed in the heat, Adrian Chung for Point Claire at a 1:01.88. Half-second gap between first and second, then over to third and lane 7, Derek Siang for Hayek at a 1:03.69. A further second, Point Ace behind Chung. Miller at the 200 remains our first place position at 2:13.34. Second now though, lane 2, Adrian Lee representing Crest Swimming, followed third by Adrian Chung at a 2:16.84. Second, Point 2, back from second. slips out of our top position. Derek Young at the 300s at 3:35.04, 2 seconds and a half faster than Miller at a 37.55. Current third now, Charlie Bourne in lane 4, top seed in the heat for Kisu at 4:40.00. Third though with 100 free to go. Top time is going to be a 4:39.84 for Yang in 7.
4:39.84.
Second place by 6/100ths, 4:39.90 for Adrian Lee in 2. Heat 5 up next. Fastest seed, Heat 5, is Owen Nicholson representing Halifax Trojan Aquatic Club and Simon Fraser University. Seed time is a 4:36.60, 37.09. Second fastest seed in the heat, Martin Aquatic Club's George Radic in lane 5. Radic current second at 1:01.59 behind a 59.12 lone swim under the minute mark at the 100 of fly conclusion. Tristan Navarre, de Natation d'Origine de Québec, current first as well at the 150, 1:35.35. Radic remains second. Current third is Clovis Kasunde, representing Natation Elite, lane 8.
Tristan Labarre qui mène après le premier 200 mètres dans cette cinquième série du 404 nage. Son temps de passage de 11:19. George Radic de Markham est en deuxième devant Owen Nicholson.
Labarre up to third, first at the 200s, remains first at the 250, 252.18. Second now, drops down to Jacob Bugaev in lane 7, 53.12. Bugaev followed up third by Radic now at a 54.86 in lane 5. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification event 26, heat 4, lane 6. That is again a disqualification event 26, heat 4, lane 6.
Avis disqualification. L'épreuve 26, série 4, couloir 6. L'épreuve 26.
Between Owen Nicholson, 2 tenths and a second between Owen Nicholson and Tristan Laval at the 350. Nicholson leads now in 4. Laval for second, third, Radich in 5. Home stretch, but a great finish from Jacob Bugayev into the wall at the end of the 53 with a 4:34.66 in 7.
Et avec un temps de 4:34.66, c'est Jacob Bugayev qui remporte la série 5.
Nicholson for second at 35.70. Third, Laval in lane 3. Heat 6 up next. Top seed in heat 6 is Nacionalista Sergio Quevedo in lane 4 at 4:32.18. Second fastest seed in heat 6, Justin Jung for Olympian swimming. Jung seated in at a 4:32.23, just 5/100ths behind the seat time for Quevedo. Meters in and to the fly leg and a 1:01.60 for Quevedo, followed Jung, 1:01.27. In third, Owen Jim representing Pacific Seawolves over in lane 1. Two bond lengths of us. 2:10.69 leading time for Liam Chu representing the Aquajets in 3 for second, a 3:13.63 for Quevedo in 4 third, Jung lane 5. 300 meters in, Liam Chu at a 3:29.41, 29.64, 2/10 back, Jung in lane 5. Up to third now, lane 2 is cross swimming's Benjamin Chestron. Only a further 3/10, well, a couple seconds actually, behind second place. First, second, third, center lane. Stop time going to be Aquajet's Liam Chu, though, by a half-wide length, 4:33, 74 in 3.
Liam Chu qui remporte la 6e série avec un temps de 4:33.74.
Chu's time, the current high point for the men's 4IM. Quevedo second, heat 7 up next. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification, event 26, heat 5, lane 7. That is again a disqualification, event 26, heat 5, lane 7.
Nous avons un avis de disqualification pour l'épreuve 26, série 5, couloir 7. L'épreuve 26, série 5, couloir 7 a été disqualifiée.
Second fastest seed in the men's 400-meter individual medley swims here in lane 4. Etobicoke Swim Club's Lauren Wigginton, seated at a 4:12.81, a time from the entire Israel Junior World Championships. This time would rank 9th in this season. It is the 4th fastest time in Canada's history for the men's 400-meter individual medley. Lauren Wigginton turns a 56.98 first out in 4. Followed by Eric Brown, lane 5, a 59.62. Brown represents Point
81, c'est lui qui mène. Pour le premier 50 mètres, 4 secondes. Devant Eric Brown, de Pointe-Claire.
Turn Wigginton, 2:03.73, followed 5 seconds, 4.5 seconds back for 2:08.32. Eric Brown in 5. Aiden Kirk for the Kelowna Aquajets brings up 3rd place at the half in 2. Both of our top 2 seed times under the secondary standard, the consideration standard for the World Championships in Singapore. The A standard is a 4:17.48. Wigginton under that as well. 2:40.66 for Wigginton. 50 meters of breaststroke to go. Gap now up to nearly 7 seconds between Wigginton and Brown.
Toujours Lorne Wigginton qui mène avec un peu plus de 50 mètres à franchir. Son temps de passage, 3:49,19. Un bon 10 mètres d'avance pour Lorne Wigginton, représenté le Canada l'année dernière aux Jeux olympiques de Paris.
Wigging into his finally 25 meters of freestyle, a Paris Olympian for Canada. 5 meters to go now. Seat time 4:12.81 into the wall, going to be 4:20.18. Slightly over the secondary consideration standard for Singapore. Good setup nonetheless for finals tonight. Brown second at 4:26.82 in lane 5.
Et c'est Lorne Wigginton qui le remporte avec un temps de 4:20.18.
Wigginton's time is 13.6 seconds faster than our previous high point of 4:33.77. The top time of the morning into our final heat, Heat 8. Coaches, athletes, and spectators, 2 notes at this time. First of all, to coaches and athletes, a disqualification, event 26, heat 6, lane 2. Once again, a disqualification, once again, event 26, heat 6, lane 2. And a note again to all athletes, coaches, spectators, we have had a lost women's racing suit turned into the announcing table. If you or somebody you know is missing their racing suit, please come down to the announcing table with the description of the suit you are missing. That is again a lost swimming suit, or women's racing suit, has been turned into the announcing table. If you are missing your racing suit, please come down to the announcing table with the description of the suit you are missing.
Nous avons un avis de disqualification pour l'épreuve 26, série 6, couloir 2. L'épreuve 26, série 6, couloir 2 a été disqualifiée.
Our top overall seed for the men's 400-meter individual medley swims lane 4, holds the second fastest time in Canada for the men's 400-meter individual medley. That is Tristan Yankovic, Royal City Aquatics and Ohio State University, 4:11.74. A time set of the 2024 Olympic Trials event leading into the Paris Olympic Games. 2:04.77, Yankovic leads in 4. Second is Colin Gagne, representing Olympian swimming. Gagne holds the 7th fastest time in Canada. A 4:16.08. The time is well set at the 2024 trials. This is the bronze medal in the event. Seated at the bronze medal winning time again, 4:16.90. Yankovic now down to the 250, turns first, second at a 2:43.73, just behind Gagne at 43.65.
Ça serré entre Colin Gagné et Tristan Yankovic, qui a le meilleur temps d'inscription dans cette épreuve avec un temps de 4:11.74. Il avait lâché cette épreuve lors des Jeux olympiques à Paris. On aura plus de 100 mètres à franchir maintenant dans cette dernière série du 400 4 nages.
100 meters to go. Yankovic back on top through the second 50 of breaststroke. 3:20.02, followed second 0.8 back by Gagne. Yankovic at 4:11.74 would rank 8th in the world this season. Seed time for Yankovic that is 5.7 seconds under the World Aqua A, the World Championships Aqua A standard for Singapore. Current third place is lane 8, breast swimming's Jack Harrison. Now down to the 350 turn. It is still a lead for Yankovic in 4.3, and a second faster than Colin Gagne at 3:53.07. Final 5 meters, smooth and in control. Top time in heat 8's 4:22.26. Yankovic in 4.
Tristan Yankovic de Royal City Aquatics qui remporte la 8e et dernière série avec un temps de 4:22.26.
Top time of the morning stands at 4:20.18, so won by Lauren Wigginton the heat prior. Second place in this heat, 0.18, so won by Lauren Wigginton the heat prior. Second place in this heat is Colin Gagne at a 4:26.04, lane 5. In a moment, we'll have our summary on the board for the men's 400-meter individual medley. Our A, B, and junior finalists, denoted by the A, B, and J on the far right of the board, are, of course, the reserve or alternates for our junior and senior finals, pre-scratch.
On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau. S'il vous plaît, swimmers, please clear the pool. On affiche les résultats sur le tableau indicateur avec Lauren Wigginton, le meilleur temps sur le préliminaire de ce matin pour la finale A. On va partir des finales de ce soir.
We will next be starting into our para events. The next 4 events are the women's and men's 150-meter and 200-meter individual medley. We start off with event 317, the women's 150, heat 1. Once again, the women's 150 multi-class medley events, heat 1. Our women's 150-meter medley. $150-meter individual medley is usually swum no higher classified than an SM4. The SM for our medley event classifications in the International Parasport classification system. As has been mentioned throughout the week, sport classifications 1 through 10 are physical impairments, usually a limitation for forward arm simultaneous movements. Leading time at the 50. Fastest time is Royal City Aquatic Jordan Tucker at a 1:10.68, 1:13.38 for Ali Van Wicksmart representing Whitby Swimming in lane 5. We'd like to quickly note to coaches and athletes we have a disqualification, event 26, heat 7, lane 1. That is again a disqualification, event 26, heat 7, lane 1.
Nous avons la disqualification pour l'épreuve 26, série 7, couloir 1. L'épreuve 26, série 7, couloir 1 a été disqualifiée.
Fastest time base seed is Royal City Aquatic Jordan Tucker in this event at 3:42.95. Ali Van Wicksmart at a 4:24.26. SM3 Canadian national record is a 4:19.31. Held since 2003, set February 19th in Melbourne, Australia by Saskatoon Lasers Nikita Enns. Leading turn with about 50 meters of free to go. Tucker at a 2:44.35. Ali Van Wicksmart in lane 5 turns into her final 50 now at 3:09.83. At the 2023 and 2022 World Championships, Ali Van Wicksmart finished 6th place in the 150-meter individual medley as a two-time Paralympian for Canada at both the Paris and Tokyo Games. Top time in the pool, fastest time in the pool is a 3:43.42 with 670 points scored by Jordan Tucker in lane 4. Second fastest time in the pool will be Ali Van Wicksmart, representing Whitby Swimming at 4:32.87, scoring 542 points. Our summary for the women's 150 at 6:70, the top performance by Tucker.
Les résultats sur le tableau indicateur sont officiels pour le 153 nage individuel avec Jordan Tucker, la meilleure performance, 3:43.42. Ali Van Wicksmart, le Whitby Swimming, en finale de 4:32.87.
We next move into event 318. This is heat 1 of the men's 150-meter individual medley. Heat 1. swimmer in the pool here, K2 Swim Club, is Riley Martin, classified SM4 for the 150, is a 3:29.95 seed time.
Dans cette épreuve du 153 nage individuel masculin, Riley Martin, de K2 Swim Club, est dans la couloir 4, sont en inscription 3:29.95. Le détenteur du record canadien dans cette épreuve appartient à Sébastien Massavi. Pacific Seawolves, un temps avait établi l'été dernier à Toronto, juste en dessous de la barre de 3 minutes, 2:59.97.
2:12.34 for Riley Martin off the 100-meter turn to the final 50 of freestyle. Canadian national record for the men's 150 stands at a 2:59.97. This is held by Sebastian Massavi. A time set July 27th in Toronto. Massavi now classified as S5. Though still holds the SM4 record. K2 Swim Club's Riley Martin in the SM4 class is the first Canadian athlete to, in his classification, to complete a 400-meter individual medley. This was a swim performed on June 4th, 2022. Martin coming into the end of his final leg of the race, finishes 3:21.96, well under the 29.95 seeded into the race with.
Belle performance aussi pour Riley Martin, qui avait son temps d'inscription de 8 secondes, avec un temps de 3:21.96.
625 points scored by Martin in the 150. We next move into event 319, the women's multi-class 200-meter individual medley. Test start before we get underway. Athletes behind the blocks will be underway in just a few moments here. Heat 1 of 2 coming up in the women's 2IM multi-class. Our top two time-based seeds in Heat 1 of the multi-class women's 200-meter individual medley are SM6 classified Coupe de Natation Mustang Boucherville Miriam Soliman in lane 4 at a 3:50.47, and SM5 classified Natation Samac Centre Haute Performance du Québec Clémence Barret lane 5 at 4:22.58. SM6 Canadian record is currently a 3:30.92, held by Shelby Newkirk, Saskatoon Lasers. Time set December 1st, 2024, then be Ken Demchuk International. And the SM5 national records A 4:19:28 currently held by Lake Saskatoon Lasers as well. Hannah Willette set at the Paralympic Trials in Toronto last year. It's a 48.00, Paré at a 1:09.48. Third fastest turn at the 50 was a 1:09.86. Alison Gobet, Club de Natation Jurica Alma in lane 3, also classified SM5 along with Paré. Halfway turn for Soliman is a 1:46.80 in 4.
Première série du 200 nage en paranatation. Nous avons 3 nageuses. Le club québécois, en fait, dans le couloir 4, Mustang-Boucherville, SM6, Myriam Soliman. Et 2 nageuses SM5, Club Natation Juvaquois d'Allemand, Alison Gobey dans le 3. Et dans le 5, le SAMAC, le Centre de performance Québec, Clémence Paris. Myriam Soliman qui compétitionne SM6. Il lui reste 5 mètres maintenant à la brasse. Ils sont dans l'inscription 3:50.47. C'est Soliman, temps de passage de 3:07.70. Deux autres paranageuses compétitionnent dans la classification SM5. Avec le temps d'inscription de Clémence Paris de 4:22.58. Seulement 3 secondes du record canadien pour les SM5 qui appartient à Anna Ouellette. Voilà que Clémence a tout passage de 3:36.89. Un peu moins de 5 secondes devant Alison Gobey.
5 meters to go for Soliman in lane 4. Its fastest time in the pool at 3:59.61.
Myriam Soliman qui termine sur la barre de 4 minutes à 3:59.61. Paranageuse de Mustang Boucherville.
Second fastest time in the pool is going to be lane number 5. Clémence Paris at 4:35.61, scoring 6:20. The high point score for our first heat of the women's multi-class. Alison Gobey with 6:15, the third fastest time-based finish in Heat 1. Heat 2 will be coming up next in just a few moments. Heat 2. Fastest time in the pools at the 100 is going to be in lane 4. Our top time-based seed in this heat as well, 1:10.83, swum by Oakville Aquatic Club, Jamie Cosgriff. Classified in this event, SM10 turns at a 1:10.83. Seed time is a 2:35.10. Cosgriff alongside lane 6 and lane 2, Emma Van Dick for Rock Niagara Aquatics and Pacific Seawolves Mary Jibb, all represented Canada at the Paris Paralympic Games, their first Olympic berth for Canada. In lane 1, the 7th fastest time at the 100 at 1:23.31 is SM7 classified, Club Luel Danielle Doris has represented Canada 3 times on the Paralympic stage, the last 3 Olympic cycles. Of our 8 in the pool, Doris is also the closest to the standing national record for her sport class, a 3:02.55 seed time for Doris. National record stands 2:54.53 in the SM7 sport classification. Time currently held by Tess Rutliff, represented Udaval at the time of the record set, 2:54.53 in Berlin, Germany. Final 5 meters in heat 2 of the women's 200-meter multi-class individual medley. Fastest time in the pool is a 9:43 performance, what will be the high point score so far. It's been superseded by a 9:77, but 9:43 and a 2:37.31 for Cosgriff in 4, 2:40.35, 977-point score for Mary Jibb in lane 6, representing Pacific Seawolves. And the 3rd fastest time is a 2:44.25 for Emma Van Dick. Lane 2, representing Brock Niagara, scores 841 points. 904 for Danielle Doris. Leaves the 977 score for Mary Jibb, the high point score overall for the women's 200-meter individual medley. Shortly, we'll have our scores reorganized by pair points. 977 and 943. Jibb and Cosgriff top the board by performance points. Pre-scratch. We next move into event 320, the men's multi-class 200-meter individual medley, heat 1 of 2. Fastest time. Seed heat 2 for heat 1. The London, Great Britain. Event in 2019. Our standing Canadian record holder in the SM5 sport class, Club Sportif Le Lustre, lane 6, Tyson Jacob, holds the SM5 record at 3:40.67. His seed time in this morning's swim. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification event 319, heat 1, lane 4. Once again, disqualification event 319, heat 1, lane 4.
Nous avons l'avis de disqualification, l'épreuve 319, série 1, couloir 4. L'épreuve 319, série 1, couloir 4 a été disqualifiée.
Scoring 669 points with the fastest time in the pool, 2:43.59 for Hunter Hellberg. Tyson Jacob with a 2:47.72 off the 150 is seconds under record pace for the SM5 sport class in the men's 200-meter individual medley. Record stands at 3:40.67. The second fastest time in the pools is Charles Jimichel in lane 5 at 2:59.85.
Dans le couloir 6, on retrouve le détenteur du record canadien SM5, les loutres, Tyson Jacob. Son record est à 3:40.67 qui date du mois de mars cette année. Et il termine 3:33.80 pour Tyson Jacob. Fracasse son propre record canadien pour la classification SM5. Tyson Jacob des loutres.
Scoring 678 points with a 3:33.80. That is a new Canadian SM5 record for sportif l'industrie Tyson Jacob in the men's 200 individual medley. Congratulations for that pending record swim. We move now to Heat 2, final swim in the men's for a 200-meter individual medley multi-class. Heat 2. Our top overall time-based seed in the men's multi-class 200-meter individual medley is a 2:05.97. This is not just the Canadian national record, but also the Americas and SM14 world record for Red Deer Catalina Swim Club's Nicholas Bennett swimming in lane 4. We have national record holder in the SM8 sport class as well. Lane 1, Edmonton Piano Swim Club's Reed Maxwell, seated at a record time 2:31.03. Bennett turning first at 100, 1:01.84. $138.21 for Bennett off of the 150. Not quite record pace here. Needs a 1:35.78 for record pace. The time swum at the Olympic and Paralympic trials in Toronto last season. Bennett finishes out 2:09.40.
2:40 pour Nick Bennett qui termine son 200 nage, vu qu'il détient le record canadien. Reed Maxwell, un autre détenteur de record canadien, dans le couloir 1.
1,004 points scored by Bennett is the high point score for our men's multi-class finals prelim swim so far. Into the wall with the with a 2:37.48. Maxwell not quite enough for the Canadian record. Second fastest finish is Fernando Liu at 8:97 and a 2:24.36. We'll have our points reordered by score, but it will be Bennett and Maxwell as the top performers from prelims at 1,004, 904, respectively. Our top 8 pre-scratch heading into the men's multi-class final. We next move into event 27. This is the men's 200-meter backstroke, heat 1 of 7.
Les résultats pour le 204 nages sont maintenant affichés. La prochaine épreuve est l'épreuve 27, le 200 dos masculin. Nous allons voir l'épreuve du 200 dos masculin avant le 200 dos féminin ce matin. 7 séries dans cette épreuve.
Heat 1. Leading the way by 0.3 seconds. Top time in lane 4, 3:103.40 in Leuknar for Calgary Swimming. Just ahead of teammate Henry Splatter in 5 at 1:03.73. 1:04.47 is third currently for Ridge Meadow Swim Club's Keenan Gander. Top time in heat 1 of the men's 200 backstroke is going to be Aiden Leuknar by 2 body lengths, 2:08.97 in 4.
2:08.97 pour Aiden Leuknar qui remporte la première série du 200 d'eau. On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 2. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification, event 319, heat 2, lane 6. Once again, disqualification, event 319, heat 2, lane 6.
Nous avons un avis de disqualification pour l'épreuve 319, série 2, couloir 6. L'épreuve 319, série 2, couloir 6 a été disqualifiée.
Leading time, lane 3 is Kinnan Sen, Calgary Swimming, 1:02.71, followed second, the opposite side of the pool by Alonzo Chan in lane 8, representing Hayak Swim Club, behind by 3.5 tenths. Second place, third place, Daniel Alexander in lane 5 is LA Swim Club, and 1:03.08, 3/100ths behind Chan. Pulling in on the 200-meter finish, it will be lane 3 and Sen 209. It's 8-9 for first.
2:09.89 pour Kinnan Sen qui remporte la deuxième série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau s'il vous plaît, swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 3. Lane 3 once again in heat 3. First place showing in 7, rather, Oliver Carpenter. Turns a 1:01.86. Represents Point Claire. Followed second by 3, Clement Kamana. Natasha Samak at 1:02.20. And third, Gavin Shinkleshoke, representing Windsor Aquatic in 1. fastest time in the pool, 2:06.71 for Carpenter in 7.
2:06.71 pour Oliver Carpenter qui remporte la 3e série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Summers, please clear the pool.
High points so far by 2 seconds and 2/10. Heat 4 up next. Top seed, Heat 4, Lane 4, Kelowna Aquajets, Liam Chu, 2:07.94. Top second fastest seed, rather, in Heat 4 is Colin Freight for Ajax Aquatic at a 2:08.21. Fastest time is Lucas Bach, though, represents Squamish Pirates in Lane 3, turns 1:01.58, followed second. Aitan Isikoff at 1:02.10. Third place, Fight at 1:02.14. Set third by 4/100ths. Into the final 5, top time in Heat 4 by a body length. It's going to be Lane 3, Lucas Block for the Squamish Pirates. Also represents S. Simon Fraser University, 2:07.16, top time in 3.
2:07.16 pour Lucas Buck, le Squamish Pirates, qui remporte la 4e série. On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 5. Our top seed in Heat 5 is the bronze medalist of Trials 2024. Seat time is a 1:58.28, slightly faster than the bronze medal winning time of 1:58.92, the third fastest time. The 8th fastest time in Canada. This is Ethan Eck in lane 4. Eck turning gear first at the 100 at 57.63, followed second by second fastest seed of the heat, Benjamin Lowen with crest swimming 59.56. Current third, crest swimming as well, Jacques Harrison, lane 3.
Dans cette cinquième série, la première droit classement pyramidal, le meilleur temps appartient à Ethan Eck. Dans le couloir 4, 1:58.28, le seul nageur sur la base de 12 minutes. Benjamin Lowen et Jacques Harrison, les deux nageurs de crest swimming, sont présentement en deuxième et troisième position.
Off the 150, leads out by a second at 0.78. 129.01, Ethan Eck in 4. Under the A standard for World Championships at 157.05 by seed time, Ethan Eck finishes here 2 minutes 99, the fastest time so far in prelims.
2 minutes et 99 centièmes pour Ethan Eck, qui termine en première position en cette cinquième série. The swimmers, please clear the pool. On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Second place, Jack Harrison, 202.24, heat 6, coming up next. Our fastest seed in Heat 6, second fastest seed in the event, Calgary Swimming's Aidan Norman, bronze medalist in the 2024 Trials event, tied with Ethan Eck at a 158.92. Seeded in at a 157.67, this is the fourth fastest time swum in Canada in the history of the men's 200 backstroke. Leading time at the 100, though, is Francis Brennan in lane 3, representing Belleville Beach Swim Team in High Performance Center of Ontario, followed by Norman at 59.85. Third place is Patrick Groders, represents Giants Aquatics Aruba. Seed time for second fastest in the heat at 2 minutes 26. Off the 150, first, second, third, Brennan, Norman, Groders. Leading times at 130.35, separated from first by a second at 0.4. Aidan Norman, second in 4. Top time by nearly 5 meters, 2 minutes 92. Brennan, a new high point swim by 7/100ths over X times. Heat prior.
Francis Brennan qui remporte la 6e série avec un temps de 2 minutes 92. Please clear the pool. On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau.
Seventh and final swim now for the men's 200-meter back, Heat 7.
You ain't got no backbone. I get I can try, I ain't got a
We'd like to call a coaching representative from the Nepean Canada Barracudas to the meet administration desk, please, as soon as possible. Once again, coaching representative from Nepean Canada Barracudas to the admin desk as soon as possible, please. Seventh and final swim for the men's 200-meter backstroke, top all-time swim in Canadian history. Our top seed is a 1:56.74 from Trials 2024 for Saskatoon Goldfin Swim Club and the High Performance Center of Vancouver. Blake Tierney in lane 4. Sixth fastest in Canadian history with a 1:57.96. Cascade Swim Club and High Performance Center of Vancouver, Cole Pratt in lane 5.
Dans cette dernière série, nous avons 2 membres de l'équipe qui représentera le Canada lors des championnats mondiaux avec Blake Tierney, le détenteur du record canadien avec son temps de 1:56.74. Dans le couloir 5, Cole Pratt qui a remporté le 100 d'eau plus tôt cette semaine et que lui aussi est un détenteur de record, soit le record canadien 15-17 ans. Il mène présentement une course très serrée entre les 2 nageurs du Centre de haute performance Vancouver.
Tierney holds the Canadian national record at the 1:56.74 trials finish. It is a 59.54 though for Tierney, just a 10.3 ahead of Pratt. A 59.67 for second fastest in the East. These are our top 2 times in the men's 200-meter backstroke for prelims.
On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau. S'il vous plaît, swimmers, please clear the pool. Blake Tierney qui remporte la dernière série avec un temps de 1:59.54, seulement 1/10 devant Cole Pratt, les 2 nages les plus rapides ce matin. Nous allons afficher les résultats sur le tableau indicateur. Super. Et nous allons montrer qui fera partie des finales A, B et junior.
Coming up next, our summary on the board for the men's 200-meter backstroke. Your top 8 on the boards. Free scratch leading into tonight's senior final. 59.54, 59.67. Again, Tierney and Pratt top the boards. Will be lanes 4 and 5. Free scratch. Our B and junior finalists denoted by the B's and J's on the board now into our second fastest 8, our top 16. Ours will denote our finalists, our reserve finalists, free scratch. Coming up next will be then 28, the women's 200-meter backstroke, heat 1 of 6. Once again, the women's 200-meter backstroke, heat 1. our final event in the main flight of today's prelims. We remind all of our spectators up there in the stands, we encourage you to stick around for our time trial swims in the women's and men's 200 backstroke and 200 meter individual medley. Coming up after the end of our main flight, 200 backstroke on the women's side. 6 seats in event 28. Halfway turn in heat 1. Leading time is a 1:08.52. Lane 4 for Neptune Natation Mathilde Monet, followed second Jessie Lambert for Comité de Natation Mission de Québec, turns a 1:08.63 in 5. Fastest time in heat 1 is a 2:21.71. Riley Lefsrud in 4-point Claire, lane 6.
2:21.71 pour Riley Lefsrud de Point Claire qui remporte la première série. On demande aux nageuses de sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Second place finish, Club de Natation, Moustin Boucherville, Annabelle Reed, lane 2, heat 2. Coming up next. Top seed heat 2 is Shutong 2 for the Markham Aquatic Club in lane 4. Seed time is a 2:20.72. 10th.4 behind that, Oakville Aquatic Vanessa Xia in lane 5. 2:20.86. Leading time at the 100, second fastest seed rather, is Sunny Shu of the region of Waterloo in lane 3. Leading time at the 50, now third is Sunny Shu at a 1:09.00. Top time to 100 is Elephant Milton Marlin, lane 1, 1:08.35. $144.49 for Elephant Milton Marlins at 150. Second 0.15 ahead of Sunny Shu at 50 to go. Good finish as well in lane 7 for Harper Lipton of North York Aquatic. Top time though, Fenner 2:21.42.
2:21.42 pour Elephant qui remporte la deuxième série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
2300s behind Fanuf. Sunny Shu in 3 for second. Heat 3 up next.
I don't care what they say. I'm not about to get nobody's way. 'Cause it's all wrapped up in me.
Our fastest seed in the pool in Heat 3 of the women's 200 backstroke runs lane 5. Spartan Swim Club's Callie Saunders. Seed time of 2:19.83. Second fastest seed in the heat then, Elsa Yazedjian with Ludovica Monreal, lane 3. Fastest inbound into the 100s going to be Saunders in 5, turns 1:08.05, followed second lane 8 by Grand Prairie Piranha's Michaela Lauren. Nine tenths behind Callie Saunders, lead off the 150. Chanel Baudouin in lane number 7. Coupe Natation Saanich follow a 145.11 turn. Leading time will be by a narrow margin, nearly to the touch. 220.17 for Saunders, just ahead of a great final 50. Second for Aaliyah Bloom in 6.
Et du couloir 5, Callie Saunders qui remporte la 3e série, un temps de 2:20.17. Swimmers, please clear the pool. On demande aux nageuses de sortir de l'eau.
Moving on now to Heat 4 of the 6 swims in the women's 200 backstroke, Heat 4. Heat 4 of the women's 200-meter backstroke. Third fastest seed in the event, Brock Niagara Aquatics, Madison Krieger, a bronze medalist at Trials 2024, seated in at 2:11.44 under the secondary standard, consideration standard for the World Championships in Singapore. 2:12.14 is the second fastest seed time in Heat 4. This is Island Swimming and High Performance Center of Vancouver. Bridget Burton was a fourth place finish, just behind Krieger at Trials 24. Leading time to the 100 is 1:03.08 for Krieger, followed Burton, 1:04.64. Current third, Abe Labrie, Neptune, lane 1.
C'est la quatrième série, la première de 3 classement pyramidal. Dans le couloir 4, on retrouve Madison Krieger de Brock Niagara. Le temps de 2:11.44. C'est elle qui mène après le premier 100 mètres, une 3:08, une seconde et demie devant Bridget Burton.
Fastest time in Heat 4 is going to be Krieger in 4 at 2:11.42. Under the consideration standard by nearly a full second. They set up the finals tonight.
2:11.42 pour Madison Krieger de Brock Niagara qui remporte la quatrième série. The swimmers, please clear the pool. Demande aux nageuses de sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Please clear the pool.
Second place finish for Bridget Burton of Island Swimming. Heat 5 coming up next. Top seed Heat 5, representing Mark McQuaticlaw, Mabel Zavaros at a 2:11.14. This is 6/100ths shy of the Aqua A standard for the Singapore World Championships. Second fastest time in this heat. A 7th place finish at Trials 2024 at 2:13.63. Cascade Swim Club and High Performance Center of Vancouver, Ingrid Wilm. Wilm's seed time, while under the 13:63 swum at Trials last year, is a 2:11.88, a second 0.8 under her performance for 7th in the A final. Leading time to the 100, Zavaros at 1:05.16, followed second by lane 6, Florence Robitaille, Natation Elite.
Dans cette 5e série, Mabel Zavaros de Markham, le meilleur temps d'inscription, 2:11.14. C'est elle qui mène après le premier 100 mètres devant Florence Robitaille de l'élite qui est présentement en 2e.
While Zavaros did not swim in the A flights at Olympic trials in Toronto last year, her seed time of 2:11.14 would have been 3rd place, a bronze medal position. Leading time of the 150 is 138.36 for Zavros, followed still Robitaille in lane 6. Current third, Marissa Lauren, Grand Prairie at 140.85. Coming into the home stretch and into the wall with 2 wide links up front. Top time is going to be a 2:11.46 for Zavros. Second fastest time of the morning.
2:11.46 pour Mabel Zavros de Markham qui termine son 200 mètres d'eau avec le deuxième meilleur temps jusqu'à présent ce matin. On demande aux nageuses de sortir de l'eau. S'il vous plaît, swimmers, please clear the pool.
And second place for Ingrid Willem in lane 5. Heat 6 up next, final swim. Our top seed in Heat 6, fourth fastest seed in the women's 200 backstroke is a 2:11.74. Lane 5 is the Tobico Swim Club at Ohio State University, Delia Lloyd. Second fastest seed in this heat is a 2:12.97 for Oxbridge Swim Club, Shannon Meadway in lane 3. Lloyd, a fifth place finish in the senior final at Olympic Trials, 2:12.87. Again, seated in a second under that at 2:11.74. Turns first at the 100, 1:03.84. Followed second, Meadway, 1:05.16. And then third in 6, Neptune, Léa Nugent at 1:05.67.
Après 100 mètres, c'est Delia Lloyd de Tobico qui est en première position. Une 3:84, 1 seconde et demie devant Sharon Midway. Le Nugent de Neptune se retrouve en troisième.
High points win so far for the women's 200 backstroke, 2:11.42 from Brocknagler Aquatics. Madison Krieger swum heat 4. 150 turn, Lloyd up front, 1:38.57, followed by Meadway at 39.40. Nugent remains third in lane 6. Final 25. Fastest time in pool for Heat 6 is going to be lane 5. Delia Lloyd at 2:13.04 for first.
2:13.04 pour Delia Lloyd qui remporte la 6e et dernière série.
Meadway finishing second, 2:13.98. For third, it is Neptune Natation, Léa Nugent at 2:16.00, lane 6.
On demande aux nageuses de sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Swimmers, please clear the pool. Les résultats sont sur le tableau indicateur. Madison Krieger, le meilleur temps ce matin, seulement 4 centièmes devant Mabel Zavros. La liste A, B et Junior qui sont affichés maintenant. Ceci met un terme à la session de préliminaire ce matin. Encore une fois, un gros remerciement à nos bénévoles pour une très bonne session. Je rappelle que les finales pour les préliminaires de ce matin redébutent à 14h pour la période d'échauffement et 17h30 sera le début de la session. On rappelle aux entraîneurs que leur limite pour déclarer pour les forfaits de la finale de ce soir est à 12:45. 12:45, l'heure limite pour les forfaits de la finale de ce soir.
On the board there, briefly, the end of our scroll for the women's 200-meter backstroke. Top two times heading into the A flight tonight in finals pre-scratch, 2:11.42, 2:11.46, Madison Krieger and Mabel Zabaros. We now head into our time trial swims for day 5 prelims. We'd like to note quickly to coaches, scratch deadline for finals tonight is 12:45. Once again, scratch deadline is 12:45. We encourage all of our spectators up there in the stands to stick around for our time trial swims in the women's 200-meter backstroke and 200-meter individual medley. Heat 1 for the 200 backstroke, event 426, up behind the blocks. Leading time of the 100, first heat of the women's 200 backstroke. Leading time is the 1:10.60 for Pacific Coast Swimming. Olivia Roschat followed second. Emily de Chazal representing the McGill Martlets. Third fastest turn is Katie Takai in lane 5. Olympian swimming at 1:13.57.
Vodka soda and baggy jeans, using none of that art degree. She's the type to just look at me, then write me off.
Fastest time, heat 1 of the women's 200-meter backstroke is going to be lane 2. Emily de Chazal for McGill University Swimming, 2:23.72.
So I said, DJ, can you play her?
Second place, 2:28.44. Olivia Roschat in lane number 4 for Pacific Coast.
Then she said, I like your confidence, but you're not the 1975. And no lie, that's quite the compliment, but I'm not really looking for somebody tonight. I said, girl, I might not be famous yet, but I'm gonna put you in a song that I write.
Swimmers, clear the pool, please.
I like your confidence,
Heat 2 of 3 coming up next. Women's 200 backstroke.
1975. I've been feeling a little sweet. I got jokes you don't show it. DJ, can you play her?
halfway turn, heat 2, leading time 1:10.10. Sophie Reeks, Muskoka Aquatic Club. Top seed in the heat at 2:24.40. Second fastest turn, Haley Wignall, representing Rock Niagara Aquatics at a 1:11.58. 25 meters to go for our top 3 now. Leading the way into the final 5, though, will be Sophie Reeks of the Muskoka Aquatic Club. Going to be sub-seed at a 2:21.87. First place in lane 4. Second place finish, Zoe Tamori at 2:26.23 and 5, representing Lakeshore. Swimmers, clear the pool, please. Heat 3, final swim. One 100-meter turn of Heat 3, leading to our opposite ends of the pool. Hillary Guo representing Calgary Swimming, 1:08.47, and Sailor Noss for Island Swimming at 1:09.05 in lane 8. Fastest overall seat time in the time trial swims of the women's 200 backstrokes, a 2:20.75. Region of Waterloo Swim Club Saanich in lane 4. Guo and Noss seated respectively at 2:23.70 and 23.98. And in that order, remaining first and second into the final 50. Into the final few strokes, though, it is going to be first for Guo at 2:22.55, though second, Iowa Fenwick, previous third as of the 50 at 2:23.25 in 3.
Hillary Guo qui remporte la 3e série. Calgary avec un temps de 2:22.55. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît, swimmers. Please clear the pool.
Moving next into event 427, the men's 200 backstroke time trial swim, heat 1. Top seed in the men's 200 backstrokes, Olympian swimming's Matteo Savini, seated in at 2:08.55. UBC Thunderbirds Alexander Lakovic in lane 5 with the second fastest seed time at 2:10.53. $100-meter wall coming up. Top time will be for Savini by about a quarter body length at 1:02.39. 4/10 behind that, Lakovic, 1:02.482. For third, lane 6, Richmond Hill Aquatic Club, Youngwoo Kim at 1:03.62. 8/10 behind Lakovic. Top time in Heat 1 and only one of the men's 200 backstrokes. Olympian swimming's Matteo Savini finishing for a 2:07.37. Fastest time in the men's 200. Lakovic 2:10.03, second in 5.
Matteo Savini qui remporte la série du 202 avec un temps de 2:07.37. Please clear the pool. On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Please clear the pool.
We next move into our penultimate swim for the time trial session. This is event 428, the women's 200-meter individual medley, heat 1 of 4. .100 meters in, and the backstroke leg leading time, Natation Gatineau, Elisa Martineau in lane 4, 1:08.75, followed up second by Mila Martin of Beaconsfield Bluefins with a 1:12.62. Third at the moment, Emily Lee, Richmond Hill in 3. Fastest time in Heat 1 is a 2:31.95. Neil Martin, Beaconsfield Bluefins in 5.
Mila Martin de Beaconsfield qui remporte la première série avec un temps de 2:31.95.
Martineau for second in 4, 2:32.89. Heat 2 up next. Top seed Heat 2, Cobra Swim Club Abby Clark, lane 4 at a 2:28.97. Fastest time into 50 number 3, a 1:07.62 for Abby Clark in 4. Second place, lane 3, Lorraine Price, Lise Félicitation Saanich. Final 25 meters for the majority of our field. Clark leads at the 150, 153.13. First onto the final 5, followed closely by lane 6. Lane Burbeck now second, representing Olympian Swim Club. Second though, it is Lilian Pace, Natation Saanich, behind the 120 to 26.84 by Clark.
Abby Clark de Cobra Swim Club qui remporte la deuxième série avec un temps de 2:26.84.
Heat 3. Top seed Heat 3, Markham Aquatic Club, Ashley Wilkie, 2:26.78. into Heat 3, leading time at 1:05. .42 is Olivia Zhou for the Canadian Golf. Zhou at the 150 drops out of top position. Aaron Epp for Pacific Coast at 150.02 in lane 6. Race for second, third between Olivia Zhou and Ashley Wilkie, lanes 3 and 4. Fastest time though, Epp at 2:24.75.
De 24,75 pour Aaron Epp, le Pacific Coast Swimming, qui remporte la 3e série.
Heat 4 coming up next. Final swim for the women's 2 medley.
I'll be that silver lining to the story. If you thought that I would turn you
Overall, the fastest seat time for the women's 200-meter individual medley time trial session is Neptune Natation Anaï Courtemanche, 3/4, lane 4 at a 2:23.33. Mark McWatercub's Victoria's Son, second fastest seed in the heat at 2:23.79. Leading time is Courtemanche in lane 4 at 1:05.25. Second place turn, lane 7 is Club de Natation de Réverin de Lévis, Aurélia Girard. That's a 1:06.15. Fastest time in the final heat of the women's 2IM and a Courtemanche Neptune 2:21.74.
2:21.74 pour Anaï Courtemanche, qui remporte la 4e série.
Fastest overall time for the time trial session in the event. We next move into event 429, our final time trial event for day 5 prelims. This is the men's 200-meter individual medley, heat 1 of 5. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification, event 428, heat 1, lane 8. That is again a disqualification, event 428, heat.
Nous avons une avis de disqualification. L'épreuve 428, série 1, couloir 8. L'épreuve 428, série 1, couloir 8 a été disqualifiée.
Turn, heat 1, men's 2 IM, leading time, Isidore Warren, Natation Gatineau, followed second, Benjamin Miller, Barry Trojan Swim Club. Leading time, 1:69 for Warren, now down to the 150 at 1:36.94. Miller turning second in 2, followed up by thirds Owen Sound Aquatic Club Sam Russell in lane 4. Fastest time in heat 1, 2:09.32, Isidore Warren, Natation Gatineau. Coming up next, heat 205, men's 2 IM, heat 2. Tops on to the 100 in heat 2. Neptune Natation Idan Israelov at 102.49. Top seed at 218.92. Followed second, lane 8, Jet Burgi for Calgary Swimming, 104.08. Burgi moved up to first at the 150 with a 141.07. Followed Israelov in lane 4. Fastest time in heat 2 is going to be tight here. It is Burgi by a fingernail, 2:15.51 by 3/10. Israelov second, 15.83 and 4.
2:15.51 pour Jet Burgi de Calgary qui remporte la deuxième série.
Heat 3. 100-meter turn, leading time in lane 4 for Simon McClure Etobicoke at 1:03.98. Second, Jordan Jolly Samula at 1:04.42. Lane 2, representing the PN Canada Barracudas. Current third, Pacific Coast Swimming's Kieran Feenstra, lane 5. First through fourth, fairly tight here into the final 10 meters. Top two though, Sauvé, McClure, Natasha Gatineau, Antoine Sauvé, and McClure, but it's going to be McClure at the 2:15.00 in lane 4.
Simon McClure de Etobicoke qui remporte la troisième série.
2.5 tenths behind McClure, Antoine Sauvé, Natasha Gatineau, and heat 4 up next. Fastest time at the 100 in lane number 4. Representing Pacific Coast Swimming, Joshua Liu at 1:02.65. Second fastest turn, Peyton Pierce, Nanaimo Riptides in lane 3. First place moves over to lane 5 and Rougetto for Université Laval, Vincent Cote at a 1:42.17. Good finish here in lane 2 for Ivan Roquema. Natasha Samak for first, a 2:13.69. Lane 2, Evan Cleary and Natasha Ormu.
C'est le couloir 2, Evan Cleary de l'Or des Ormeaux qui remporte la 4e série, un temps de 2:13.69.
Pierce for second, heat 5 up next. Overall, the fastest seed in the time trial swims of the men's 200-meter individual medley. Kamloops Classic swimming Jaden Johnson, a 2:11.27 seed time. Second fastest seed in the heat, 2:11.78 Richmond Hill Aquatic, Daniel Dioman.
Young blood, let your heart break. Don't waste your time waiting for a better day. Young blood, it's a long game. Don't hurry too fast.
100-meter turn is the leading time, 1:01.03 for Johnson. In 4, followed second, Daniel Dioman, 1:02.57 and 5/8. 1/100th behind Dioman is Lucas Chen in lane 3. Chen representing Richmond Hill Aquatic. Seed time for Chen is 6/100ths behind the 2:11.78 seed time for Dioman. Final 25 for our top 3. Johnson in 4, Dioman in 5. Gaining ground on Johnson in 2 through the final 25 will be the first place finish at a 2:11.03. Drops 7.5 tenths from seed time 2:11.78.
Daniel Dioman de Richmond Hill qui remporte la 5e et dernière série avec un temps de 2:11.03. On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Swimmers, please clear the pool. Ceci met un terme à la session de 7 ans. Merci encore une fois à tous nos bénévoles. On se redonne rendez-vous près d'échauffement qui débute à 16h pour les finales de ce soir.
Coaches, athletes, and spectators, that wraps up our 5th morning of racing here for prelims at the 2025 Bell Canadian Swimming Trials. Thank you very much for coming out to Saanich Commonwealth Place. A couple new Canadian records in this morning's session. We'll catch you back tomorrow tonight at 5:30 for the start of Day 5 finals. Reminder to coaches and athletes, warm-ups start at 4 o'clock. Until then, enjoy your time in the City of Victoria, District of Saanich. We'll catch you back 5:30 for Day 5 finals. Have a good afternoon.
Swimming Canada would like to thank our partners. Natation Canada tient à remercier ses partenaires. The Government of Canada, le gouvernement du Canada. Speedo, your trusted swim partner from your first splash through every stroke. Speedo, votre partenaire de natation de confiance, de votre premier saut dans l'eau à chaque traction. Bell for better and all the ways it gives back to communities and sport across Canada. Mieux pour tous et toutes les façons dont Bell redonne aux communautés et au sport dans tout le Canada. Chicken Farmers of Canada, proud supporter and official protein of Swimming Canada. Les producteurs de poulets du Canada, fiers partisans et protéines officielles de Natation Canada.